We are live with day 49 with my Unemployed with a PhD podcast. Today we're doing episode 2 of the Continental from our John Wick series.
Yes.
I'm Mac, you called it last time. You called it. You called it when it comes to the Mel Gibson character. You said he was gonna break someone's head and like do some weird stuff, and he did it. He did it.
He sure did. Yeah.
It came out
I
of
almost,
nowhere.
yeah, it really did. I mean, it's episode 2. I was like, okay, episode 1, Mel Gibson cast himself as a calm character. Okay, hey, you know what? I'm gonna open my mind to it. I'm gonna see how it goes. Um, nope. Nope. True to form. This is gonna be a rough one. I think that this is a taste of what is to come in episode 3. There's no way he doesn't just go crazy. Um,
You didn't feel it was a little like unexpected from the fact that I felt there wasn't enough build up for that moment because I remember especially when the educator visited him during the time he was having lunch, he didn't give that vibe at all, you know, because if he's that much of a scary person, you'd feel that his aura would give a lot more
to be
fear.
fair,
And he was just
that
like
wasn't.
eating, he was chill and he was like a normal
Yeah.
person. So I didn't see it in him. I don't know, maybe it was
To
bad
be fair,
choice
I
of
think it was
acting.
because it was an adjudicator. So it's like he really didn't have the power in that scene.
But no,
Whereas,
even before the educator came, he wasn't like afraid of what's gonna come, or he didn't show me
oh
this.
yeah, I did get the assumption. I did draw the assumption that he was holding back, or that he was more dangerous than he was letting on. I think so. I think that undercurrent of potential was always there. Maybe it's because I expect Mel Gibson to do something insane, so maybe I have that bias.
Yeah,
Um, but I really don't. I can't say that it's outside of his character because I don't know enough about Cormac. Like one of my big things right now by episode 2 is like, okay, I know what the Continental becomes. You know what I'm saying, from John Wick's universe, but what is the Continental now? Like, what exactly is it? The same as the Continental in the future? Because it can't be, right? Like, you couldn't just walk into the Continental and blow down the marquee and expect to just walk out of there. Like, no, you're gonna get blown. Like, there's gonna be some real crazy repercussions. Um, so I'm like, okay, like, what is the Continental as it is now? Like, what is the stance? Um, can you do business there? Like, because he went in with that knife and stabbed him in the ground. Everyone drew guns on him on the spot. And I'm like, are y'all about to do business on the Continental grounds? Like, but I mean, maybe the rules are different. Maybe Cormac is a different type of person.
no,
Maybe he's a different type of manager.
they did mention that after he killed the guy, that there was a scene where they approached the adjudicator and they told her like, "Hey, Cormac killed someone on Continental grounds," and they're like, "Okay,
Yeah,
wait, we're not gonna do anything about it now, but."
yeah,
There's definitely a consequence later to
yeah,
that,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
probably going to be in episode 3. But
Correct.
I feel that this evolution of Cormac, I don't know, it could have maybe I don't know, I mean there's always there's always improvement for anything, but
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to be this guy who nitpicks like on stuff, but I just felt that I didn't see at all that part of him coming, but it wasn't in a good way. It wasn't like a subverted expectation. It's more like
Yeah, it was
you
kind of
could have
subtle.
give me a little more clues that he could be that bad of a person, right?
Yeah,
So, for example,
because like,
at the scene when he were eating, I would probably expect him to be a little more
on edge.
intense, like a little bit
Yeah,
more, like giving me more negative energy, negative vibes. He was like kind of enjoying the food. He was like happy. So I was like,
yeah.
I wasn't seeing that in him. I don't know. Maybe that was it a choice from the acting, a choice from the writers? I don't know. You could argue that after he saw the face, I would give that to them. I think that was what they expected from the scene evolution to happen, is that the moment he saw the face of the adjudicator when she took off her mask, this is where there was this switch in his character. But I personally didn't buy it. So
Yeah, maybe I don't think that would. I
yeah,
think that's really more of like a character building for the adjudicator, like to
yeah,
like
exactly.
help define her ethos and her mythos
Yeah,
more than it is to define what how Cormac reacts to things.
yeah, definitely. So I assume that was my kind of like, well, this was one of my issues in episode 2. My second issue is that, look, we talked about how in John Wick 4 and episode 1 they were able to work with all these plethora of characters, and they did it in a very good way, kept us
Yeah.
engaged. But I felt in episode 2 it just became too much. You just overpopulated the series. Like it just there's not just like look, it doesn't matter how good of a writer you are when you have so many characters, like that many characters. It's just you're overpopulating the episode. It's just gonna be so hard to keep the flow going. Like
Yeah.
I reached the point where I didn't care about what the cop is doing, the one who's having an affair. I didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
This part became redundant to me. I didn't care. The
Yeah.
Bowery part was good, but it's just how are you gonna keep up with everything? You're doing the Sharon part. You're doing the Bowery part. You're doing this new guy Gene that you brought in. He was fine. Okay, I understand what he's doing. He likes to kill people who flee away justice because of technicalities. So that was fine. But then you add this person who's with his kid, who happens to be at Charlie's place when the twins were searching stuff. Okay, like I don't care about him. What is he doing? He's just another day player that's gonna help Winston get what he wants. So that character was useless.
Yeah.
And then there was the side story of the karate woman with the Chinese. That was good, but you're squeezing everything into one episode, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad episode. It's just that it got a little blurry. You know, it got a little like I didn't see where things. It wasn't as smooth as episode 1. To be fair, if you agree.
For me, I feel like episode 1 was the introductory phase. You have a lot of characters you have to introduce, and so the episode being longer than episode 2, you know what I'm saying? There is a lot of content to pack in. But what we're talking about are diverging and converging storylines or plot lines. So each individual character has their own plot line, right? With the exception of Winston and Frankie. Frankie's a part of Winston's plot line, obviously. But when we have converging plot lines, what ends up happening is that all these characters who have their own place end up coming together to like complete the plot. You know what I'm saying? Finish out the story. So that's like teamwork. You know what I'm saying? Working together, coming together. All their plot lines converge, so they don't have individual plot lines anymore. They have now a group plot line, which is what they're supposed to be doing. I feel like that's what it's leading towards right now. That's what episode 2 really was a lot of. Was like, oh yeah, here's all these characters, but here's all of them. They're all starting to have this go towards the same goal.
Yeah,
which
I agree.
Remember episode 1? What did I say? I was like, dude, there's a lot of characters. I don't know if they can like do everything with all these characters. That's because they can't. Yeah, they can't. It has to either go on to more episodes, or you're gonna have everyone team up, and now everyone's motivations are wrapped up in each other's, which is pretty good writing. Still, you can still be performed very, very well. But ultimately, that's what I'm trying to see. Hold on 1 second. My cat is about to.
Wait, you have a cat and a dog? Any questions in the chat? No, not yet. Yeah. You have a cat and a dog?
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
9-year-old cat and a 120-pound German Shepherd.
Aw, that's nice.
The cat's a bully. Anytime if I'm on like a meeting or an interview or a phone call or anything like that, he will get down here and start yelling. Back when we were during COVID, when I had class, he would come down here, wait till I started class up, and be like 10 minutes in, and then he'd come down here screaming. And he's loud. He's a big male cat. When he screams, it echoes across the whole house. You can hear him outside. My goodness. That's why I'm like, yeah, let me turn my feedback down. I don't want him to pick up on my cat screaming in the background.
Yeah.
Anyways.
You want to get the mic a little closer?
And no, literally, I'm about to have it like right here.
Yeah, that's better. That's better. Yeah, sound is better like this. Yeah. So we were talking about how they were teaming up to basically take over the Continental. I feel
that's
that
what it leads to. Yeah.
I feel. Look, again, it wasn't bad writing. It's just it got overpopulated, and I understand what you're saying is that they made it. You can get away with having so many characters because they're all having this one goal because they're teaming up towards just taking.
Kind of have to.
Yeah, taking Cormac down. Okay, but what about the cop, for example, and was having an affair? I don't care about it. That part was. Look, okay. I hope she does something really crazy in episode 3 because so far her part was really useless, and so I hope that
the Kung Fu girl.
Yeah. No, Kung Fu part was nice. I liked the topic as well. It was an interesting discussion that people don't really talk about because people always like to put it as white people versus everyone else, right? Well,
Yeah, exactly.
it's not always the case, and I felt that this was a good discussion to have. It reminded me of when in the NBA some black basketball player was like trashing Jeremy Lin because he
Oh
braided his
yeah.
hair, and Jeremy Lin told him like, "But bro, you have like Chinese tattoos on your arms. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
dude, what are you
we,
talking
we,
about?
we should all like be standing up for each other and
Yeah,
as minorities."
if you're gonna stand on it, make sure it's consistent.
Yeah,
You have Japanese tattoos all over your back. Like
yeah,
you're not. Who's really appropriating what?
yeah,
I thought the conversation was cool. I thought
yeah.
that was cool. She was like, "It's dojo." Like I have a dojo. He's like, "We're Chinese. It says China Street." He's like, "So?" And he's like, "It's Kwun. It's a simple word. Just say it. Don't say dojo." And he's like, "That's what we're hung up over." And he's like, "Kinda, yeah." Like I'm like, I respect it. He's a businessman. I don't even hate the guy. But again, he's not a character. He's a vessel for the Kung Fu Girl's character, her plot line.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so
It was a good. So the dialogue was good. So the kid of the guy. So
yeah,
so here we're like for those who are watching, directors, hopefully writers to be. They were putting a lot of insert shots on the kid
yeah,
early on. So that's good writing. That's good directing because you're basically developing his character with minimum effort, and you're telling us this kid is gonna have a role later. Now, obviously, within the bigger realm of the story, it's not a big role, but it's not. It's not. A lot of people don't know these strategies. Like,
Did
unfortunately,
they say his name?
the kid's name.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean,
Okay, cool. I didn't want to assume it was. I didn't want to assume it was the Chinese guy in the next in number 4, but or you know what I'm saying.
oh my God, could it be?
That's what I'm wondering because they never say his name, but he was framed in a lot of shots individually, and I'm like, God dang, they're giving that kid a lot of
You,
screen
you
time.
think this is
Okay, let's
Kane?
see. I don't know. It sounds racist. I don't want to sound racist by assuming that the Chinese guy is the same Chinese guy. I don't think it is, but I mean,
No,
he is getting a lot of screen time. You're right. Like he is getting a lot of face time. Like
Yeah. So
I wouldn't be surprised if they name drop him towards the end.
no, I mean it's not. It has nothing to do with racism. You're just making.
I
You're
know,
just
I know,
connecting
I know
the
that.
dots. Like no,
But
you're
it's
fine.
exactly that's exactly what my mindset is. It's like, yeah, this is like Chinatown. He's like, this kid is literally getting screen time. He hasn't had a single line.
It is new. It is still in New York anyway, so it could be.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a nice. It could be a nice twist later. So I mean,
Yeah,
for
and
the
things like that. Like if it's a prequel, you can do stuff like that
Yeah.
in a prequel. That's fine. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of what prequels are for. It's like,
exactly.
by the way, this is the main character. How Winston got this thing, but we can also see how so and so got started, or how this interacted with so and this person is directly.
Okay, okay. Wait, I have a hot take. I have a hot take here.
Oh, yeah,
I have a
nice.
hot take. So, Chad Stahelski, Lionsgate, everyone who took part of the John Wick universe. If you're looking for a 20-year-old, 30-year-old version of John Wick, you know where to look. 6'1", long hair with beard. That's me. That's me. Wait, my camera's acting weird.
Oh no, are you haunted?
I'm listening to you.
looks-
Go ahead. You can
if
respond
that-
to what I said.
Yeah, your camera looked like it was haunted. It looked like you were about to get picked up by something extra.
Yeah,
extraterrestrial.
yeah. Maybe the angels were responding to my request.
They were
like
landing,
exporting
yeah.
me. Yeah, yeah,
Put him in the next John Wick.
yeah. I mean, come on. Who looks more like Keanu Reeves besides me in their 20s? Come on.
A lot of people.
A lot of people. Okay.
A lot of white guys, actually.
Oh.
Like Keanu Reeves, and they're in their 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were born in the same city, so I get this.
Yeah, what is Keanu Reeves also? I actually have never Googled it. Isn't he like, what is that?
He's like white, Chinese, Hawaiian.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. Because you notice his eyes are a little like
Yeah. Ethnic.
Asian.
Too much
Yeah,
ethnic in it.
yeah. So,
And low key his head shape towards the back, like his jaw. Like anyway, I see people from all over the world, so I'd be like, oh yeah, people do have similarities. Like Americans kind of look like Americans versus like British people. Like oh no, like a white British person versus like a white American. You can't tell me the difference. Come on, you can tell the difference by looking at them, especially, bro. Dress, posture, their diets are different. Like of course they look different. Like anyway.
Yeah, so we're talking about the Chinese and the black girl interaction. I feel like I want to see more of those in Hollywood, to be honest, because it's always been portrayed that racism is like white people against everybody else. I want to see more of this character because it brings more dimensions to racisms, right? Because it's not like
Yeah.
just this type of racism. There's all types of racism, right? So,
Yeah.
and I feel that I want to see more of that in Hollywood, and I feel that was good. Because imagine we're in 2025 and they still portray that racism is only like white people doing it,
Yeah.
and
It,
which is fine, but it's been overdone, right? Like
yeah.
you can get a
You
little
gotta.
smarter about it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Not, I don't. You don't see it much in 2025. You really gotta go back to like the 90s, early 2000s, and look at like gangster movies. A lot of those,
yeah.
because then you like even like mafia or like hood movies. Like that's where you see interactions between like black and non-white power positions.
Oh
It's
really?
like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I remember in American History X we did have a little bit of Mexican involved,
that was primarily white.
but it was primarily white. They did involve the Mexicans a little bit, but
Yeah, a little
um,
bit.
I'll I mean that's the first thing that pops into my mind. That's why,
But
but.
yeah, yeah.
So why do you
Just
let's
why.
I mean we can discuss this. Why do you think that we still haven't reached the point to discuss racism
Oh,
from
it's
the
just changed. We've reached that point and then retracted from it. I would say that you were the most free and able to talk about race and racial experiences. Yeah, again, late '90s, early 2000s. Once you get to the mid to late 2000s,
I mean
or 2010s,
it's all Islamophobia by then, mid to late
yeah,
2000.
exactly, exactly. Once you get
It's
past 2001, it's like, all right, crank it up a notch.
uh,
And even then, like, that's probably one of the worst times to be a Muslim in the United States,
exactly.
probably. But
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
um,
No, because I look at stuff from back then, obviously, because I was a kid when these movies came out, so I didn't get a
right?
chance to watch all of them. But like when I watched Rush Hour, and
Oh my
he
god.
literally like say these Iranians, they're all terrorists. They bomb like who talks like that in a movie? Come on, like it's
Yeah.
like
But it's
wow.
Rush Hour. Like Rush Hour, like it's a comedy. Like it's just a comedy.
Yeah.
It's like watching White Chicks. Like that's two black guys wearing white face
Uh,
and pretending to be women. And like
wow.
you
It's
would
just
you would think that in today's society that movie is wildly unacceptable, and yet it's a classic. Like it's a comedy.
yeah.
It's not supposed to be serious. Like
But
this
the whole thing
supposed to
is
be
that
like,
look, I get it if it's a comedy. It's just it went too far, and it was even in
yeah.
non-comedic stuff. Like in 24, okay, you give me one season against the Muslims. I get it because you're going against everybody, right? So he's going against
Are you saying
what?
that Rush Hour is not funny? Because that's not what you just said. You meant that scene about the Iranian joke.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Oh, okay,
This
okay,
has
okay,
nothing
okay.
to do with.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm not talking about
it
funny
actually-
or
yeah.
not. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the
Yeah.
principle of it. It's not about
Yeah.
funny or comedy.
I'm about to say
But like,
because the movie's hilarious.
yeah.
It's okay for things to be offensive and still be funny. That's okay.
I mean,
It's
but,
okay,
but
man.
this one joke wasn't funny, because you can
Right, exactly.
you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
get
it's not
away
funny.
you can get away with
Yeah.
things if it's funny. I'll give that to you.
If
I
it's
mean,
funny.
all of
It's
my
gotta be funny.
stand up is racial stuff, right? But because it's funny, I get away with things, and because I work on the gray area, and with the gray area,
Yeah.
you're like innocent to proving guilty. But this one joke specifically, it was obvious that it was put as an Islamophobic line, and like it wasn't even funny. Like there is no excuse here. So yeah, I don't know. It's just
I
it was
watched
weird.
what is that movie where they there's an early 2000s late 2010 action thriller where it's like some kind of SWAT movie or whatever. But basically they like pull this Muslim guy over. It's in New York, mind you, and it's like 2002.
Oh my
So-
god. Yeah.
So oh my god. So like in this movie, it's like this major blockbuster, but literally in this scene, they like pull this Muslim guy over, and they're like, "Hey, we need to ask you some questions with the cops." And he's like, "I'm not gonna work with you guys. Like, I don't have anything to do with you." And they like rip his turban off and hold it hostage. Like, "Yeah, we'll give you this back when you give us what we need." And I'm like, watching this movie, mind you, I watched this movie like 3 years ago, so it was just blowing my mind that they just
Wow.
had this in the movie.
Wow.
But think of the context of when it happened. People probably watched that movie and didn't even phase them
Yeah.
that they did that. Because one, I mean, what did Americans know about Muslims prior to 2001?
Yeah.
And two, what do they know about Muslims past 2001? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. It's crazy. Yeah, yeah. You can actually. That's why I like when I like referring to media, movies, and TV shows as time machines. They are reflections of the times they existed in. You can see political and public opinion even if it's disgusting and stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You can be like, wow, they're really dumb for just letting stuff like this go. But like they used to do blackface in movies. Like they
Mm-hmm.
used to not hire black actors, just put white dudes in like black face paint and be like, it's good enough. Like,
Yeah, and I remember there was a movie back in like the 70s or the 80s. They hired a white person to do an Asian guy. They just made him wear glasses and did some stuff with his eyes. It was so weird. Yeah.
it's so cringe. It's so
Yeah, it's so
cringe.
weird. But the whole point is like I think like during that time of the post 9/11, it was like a political tool. Obviously, like it was from the top coming because like
Yeah,
when I watch again, I was talking the take I was talking about was
big
24
propaganda.
because with 24 the series, look, it's a great series. I love it.
Hmm.
I understand if you give me one season against the Muslims because you're portraying a government official who's trying to counter terrorism, right? And they went over all types of ethnicities. They went against Mexicans, against Serbians. So I understand if you give me one season against the Muslims, I'll give it to you. But if you give me like 3, 4 seasons and it keeps stretching out till I don't know when, and then you have to put one Muslim character as like okay, you make them look like the good women because you want to
The
get away
token.
because you want to get away with not looking too much Islamophobe. Like, come on, man! Like it's just
Ah,
it just doesn't
it's
age well.
cringe.
It doesn't
It doesn't
age well.
age.
It doesn't
It's
age well
not
at
age
all.
well.
So it's just
But movies that do age well, again, like these gangster movies where you put like black guy, Hispanic guy, and a white guy in prison,
yeah.
and now they're all equals. Like, oh yeah, well they're gonna have real ass conversations in that. But those are the conversations you probably couldn't have at work, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
especially in today's climate. Like, you can't talk about a lot of stuff
Because
because you're fired.
it takes one person to go to HR, even if they're wrong.
Exactly.
You know, the
Exactly.
HR doesn't want to deal with this. So
HR won't deal with it. It's not
so
about. It's not about. In our society, it's about keeping your head down and not making a stink. The
yeah,
squeaky
exactly.
wheel gets the oil, but it also gets replaced.
Yep, exactly. Which is quite interesting. Like we can have a whole discussion just about this topic. Like
No, literally. Yeah.
yeah, it's about. Let's not diverge too much. I mean,
Yeah.
let's go
I,
back.
um, I don't think they're gonna put too much more emphasis on that relationship. Again, I think the whole plot line is really for her plot line to you know what
Diverge
I'm saying?
towards the team or
Converge
converge
to
towards the team, diverge away from the guy. So
exactly.
yeah.
Or he works with her ultimately. You know what I'm saying? Now they have a partnership, and now going forward, she has that support and her own.
But no, I'm thinking about it. That was actually a good point about the child. I feel that I thought at the beginning they were giving him too much insert face shots because he's gonna do something,
just- yeah.
which is eventually it turns out to be throwing the rock at her place. But now that I think about what you said, it must be something even bigger than this small.
It's a lot of FaceTime.
Yeah,
you didn't just notice a little bit. You're right.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot. It was noticeable. I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna this is
This
somebody
is
important.
this is someone who's gonna get involved more later. So that's a good
Yeah.
point. Yeah, for anyone watching, that's a strategy. So it's a cheap strategy. Like you don't have to bring in dialogue.
Cheap? No, literally, yeah.
You don't have to bring weird effects or like
Costumes,
or
yeah,
whatever.
none of
Just
that.
like put an insert shot on his face from as long as he's with his dad and his dad is talking, and it helps bring the pace faster. So you don't have to keep it the focus on the dad who's just
Yeah.
talking stuff, whatever. And
You know what bad writing looks like is when is after they do that scene, they take the dad and sit him down with the kid and make him explain what he did.
oh my god,
Because
no,
the audience are a bunch of dumb
that's,
baby
that's
brains.
So bad. No,
That's
no.
awful.
That's
We don't
awful
need
writing.
that. What they did was perfect.
Exactly.
Just like you said, some shots have the business occurring. He's in the villa. You know what I'm saying? By proxy, he's involved. Like by proxy, he knows what's going on. He was in the room, so now it's not. You don't have to suspend your disbelief to believe that he knows in the future what's going on.
That was really good. I'll give it to them. Bowery. Let's talk about the Bowery. Great design. I loved. I want to. I want to know about the Bowery more. This is one of my critiques of episode 2. I felt that the Bowery wasn't given enough. It's not that it was given enough, but I think it just got. What do you call it when something lessened the effect of something else? It got down something. I don't know what the term is.
Oh,
So it got
downgraded or
downgraded. Let's say its effect got downgraded because of all the other plots that were happening in parallel. I feel that the Bowery design was really good. Definitely, we might expect some Lawrence Fishburne younger version appear at some point because he's gonna be the king later.
that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, and it was a good suspension of disbelief and like subverted expectation because you would expect that the Bowery Queen would also be black, you know, because I would assume that Lawrence Fishburne inherited from her, so maybe it's his mom, or so. But then at the beginning, they show us a white lady as the one in charge, and then then the flip happens. So this one I like. I like this change of of who's in charge. I like this. I like the design. And you know, they are poor people, right? So, and she tells them, we don't care about the money. We want love. So this underdog design is really good. Like, it makes them likable. It makes us closer to them.
It also makes it also makes their existence in the John Wick universe way more believable because it's consistent with what they're
exactly. It's part of the world building as well. You're keeping everything that's part of the high table and the world building there. So I really like that part. Any comments on the Bowery?
It was a good idea to send Winston in there. I'm glad they didn't have other characters bring the Bowery in. I think it is a good idea to have Winston be the character who does it.
I think it went a little too far, but it's only because the other
a little long.
The other stuff had to be there as well, so it made the episode longer. If it was just the Bowery, it was enough. But because you had if it was just the Bowery, it was enough. Like
all the other characters, they got to do stuff with all the other characters.
Yeah, no. Here's what I'm saying: the Bowery part in itself, I think it was too long because it made the episode longer.
Okay,
so
I see what you're saying.
If they could have fleshed it out as much as they did, if there wasn't all the other stories with it, because they did put a lot of shots on him walking, and like showing what the Bowery people do when the cars came and shoot them. These were cool shots. No, I like it, but it just because the episode was too long, I feel like they should have shortened either this part or the other parts. Yeah. You want to talk about Sharon, or you have other comments on the Bowery?
Well, my concern now is I'm trying to remember how much Winston knew about the Bowery from the movies, and I feel like he didn't have that much interaction with them at all, actually. I don't think Winston interacted with anybody from the Bowery in the movies. Yeah. Oh,
no, he did. He was with Lawrence Fishburne a couple times, remember? We the homeless should stick for each other.
Oh, it's in the fourth one. Yeah. Wait, only in the fourth one, though.
In the fourth one, only in the fourth one. Yeah.
Okay, so in the fourth one then.
But it was
so maybe that is a nod.
We had two cool scenes. So one scene where we the homeless should stick with each other. That was really funny. It was really good. Yeah. Again, these sometimes this one line can flip the whole vibe and keep you engaged, right?
That's right.
And then there was the line when he was in the metro in Paris. Yeah, when John Wick was changing his suit. Winston was there, and Lawrence Fishburne came and.
Oh.
Yeah. So
wait.
Metro, John Wick changing his suit.
Yes.
Winston.
Yes.
Winston was there. In Paris, so it was right before.
That was the second time they had interacted.
Yes, and the third time is when they're visiting his grave at the end of the fourth.
The grave,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, the grave.
So this is good writing, because if you think about it, 3 times, one in the beginning, one in the middle, one in the end. Mm-hmm. Lawrence Fishburne shows up with Winston, and this builds a really good introduction for what's coming, and hopefully, I don't know if he appears in episode 3, we'll see, but definitely the Bowery is an interesting word to discover.
Yeah, I mean it's
Uncover.
Again it's the underground of the underground. Like, it's kind of cool that they get to subvert all the rules and all the expectations and customs of
and they are people who have nothing to lose, so
yeah, exactly. They don't do it for money.
That's how strong they are.
Again, I really want to know more about this Cormac. I understand that he is as a narrative device, he is meant to be replaced. He is the king to be dethroned. I don't need a backstory. I don't need like an origin story. But I don't know enough about who he is. John Wick, they tell us constantly who John Wick is, even before he does something. I'm watching the Continental right now. Okay, well, guess what? I have 4 movies of Winston, so I actually do have a good idea of what he's going to do. But, like, I don't know anything about this guy, and so I need, like, you need points of reference. Like, I need as a viewer, for this character who's going to be consequential, if you're going to be the throne that gets replaced, what are we replacing? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What change is being made?
Yeah.
Otherwise, just have the throne be vacant and just have someone fill it then. Because what's the point in doing all? What are you taking from them? You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm kind of like, what is he? Who is he? Like, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, because you do want to know also what Winston's motivation is to take over the Continental.
Yeah. Oh, they killed your brother, but do you want to take over the thing because of that? I feel like you just really like it. I feel like
Yeah.
you really are
So
actually
I'm
into
interested
it.
to look at this arc, which is kind of what we discussed with episode one of how this elemental parallel with Godfather, where Michael he wasn't that much interested in the whole family business, but then his brother got killed, and
That's true.
then his dad dies. Okay, I'm gonna be the Godfather now, so we'll see. We'll see. He kills everybody, you know. He kills Alfredo. He kills like all his family to.
Got to.
So
Fredo was a rat. He had to
so
die.
so we'll see. We'll see how Winston is how his arc develops, and this is obviously influenced by the Godfather. I assume they're not gonna they're gonna try to make it. They're gonna tweak it a little bit. So
Yeah,
I'm
they're not
interested.
gonna follow it
I
directly.
might not interest. I'm interested to see how the tweak is gonna happen. What do you think of Sharon?
Oh yeah. I'm glad you asked me. I
Because it was interesting. The moment they reach out to him and they tell him that you're gonna be a double agent, he automatically rats them out. The next second he meets with Cormac, and this tells
he's
you how
loyal
he's loyal.
to to loyal to
The head of the Continental.
aha
Uh-huh.
loyal to his job. He's a
Yeah.
professional. That's why you like him. He has to be against the wrong team. This is good writing. This is good writing when you have
Yeah,
two
this was
opposing
good. Yeah,
armies.
this was good. Yeah.
You have two opposing armies, and then you have like a lieutenant in the army, but he's a really morally upstanding guy. It's like Star Wars, the Andor. You got these outstanding, righteous citizens, but they work for the Empire, and now they have to eventually figure out whether or not they want to stay with the Empire or, you know, what I'm saying,
Because
work from within.
they're loyal to the job, but
Yeah, exactly. They're good people.
but you know what? That's what the Nazis say. I was just following orders, you know. So it's like this. What are you gonna do? You know, like it's just
Yeah.
so.
How do you call him a bad guy, or do you work with him later?
Yeah. So Sharon
America.
is loyal to the job until he sees the person, his best friend, killed by Cormac. Because when
That and he broke the rules.
yeah, exactly.
Continental ground.
But I think it's not about him breaking the rules. It's about him killing his best friend because he
Yeah,
tried to
definitely
steal. Because what does he tell him? He saw him dead, right? And he was still on Cormac's side until he asked him what did he try to steal. Until this point, he was still loyal to Cormac. If you look at the if you look at the subtext and the facial figures and the acting, he was still loyal to him, even though he knew he killed him on continental ground. He broke the rules. He was still loyal to him because he told him your father's gonna come take his place. So he was happy with that, right? And he told him, what did he try to steal? He was like, you. He was trying to steal you from me. And this is where Sharon noticed, like, okay, this guy's crazy. This guy's an idiot. He needs to go. And maybe he doesn't think that he needs to go, but at least he started to have second doubts.
Doubts, yeah.
So either doubts or he completely switched. We'll see in episode 3. I assume he completely switched because eventually he's gonna be the concierge of Winston, right? So
Exactly. He doesn't want the job.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he wants the job, obviously. And I'm really glad they didn't make that like a storyline. Like, oh, maybe he's actually gonna want to be positioned, but instead he fails out and takes the second place to Winston. Like, I hate stuff like that. Like, that's dumb writing. That's childish writing. That's how children write. I want to be king. No, I want to be king. Oh, no,
No,
it's
no.
childish. No one.
The whole
one's
point
doing
is that look, I understand you have ego and you want to be king, but there are people who don't care about the seat, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. They don't need to be. Me, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't need to be the person at the front.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I make moves behind the scene. That's very cool. I make mission. Things happen because of me.
Yeah.
My name's not on nothing, but I'm paid for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's cool with me. Yeah, I like Sharon's character. I think he's cool. I'm scared of the next episode because I just don't want anyone to get hurt. I don't want to get shot.
I mean, someone's gonna die, right?
Yeah, a few people.
Yeah.
I don't think all these people. I don't think all these plot lines end well. I think Winston's going to come out on top because I've seen the movies.
Yeah.
But I don't know any of these other people. So
Yeah. Let's discuss Muhammad Ali. what is your experience with Muhammad Ali as an African American? Maybe you can talk about this, and then we'll relate it to what was discussed in the episode.
I love Muhammad Ali.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of people converting to Islam if they want to. I think that's super dope. It's also cool to change your name. It's also cool to not fight in war. It's also cool to be one of the greatest fighters who's ever lived. You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do about that? It's like the great definer, right? Like you can argue with someone all day, but if they're like, "Let's fight about it," you have to be like, "Ugh, what's your problem?" Like, what happened to being civilized? Like we can. Humans have been fighting since the dawn of man. You can't be like, "Oh, war is evil." It is bad, but like historically, like you have to respect the greatest fighters of all time. You can hate a person to death, but at the end of the day, like
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Muhammad Ali is definitely that he was fought by everybody basically, and they made him stop playing during his peak years, right? You're talking about like imagine you're being in your peak of your sports career, and someone at the age of 25 tells you, "Oh, you can't play for 3-4 years." Like, bro.
Oh, they put him in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in jail. Yeah, he didn't just get to compete; he was in jail. Yeah.
So that's like how interesting. So, and the good thing is that in this episode, the way they mention his story, it wasn't exposition. It was good writing. Again.
Yeah.
That was good writing. It's not like someone was lecturing her on what happened. They put it within the umbrella of him being in the Vietnam War, and this is how strong Muhammad Ali as a persona was. Is that two big armies were killing each other, but the moment he was fighting, everyone stopped and just listened to what was happening.
Yeah.
So, and the way it was written, it was such a good way. Like, you know, it's just because you look at all these weird monologues that happen in movies, and someone's just like lecturing the other person. Oh, when I was your age and I was doing this. Yeah.
Bro, shut
but
up.
No, it's like, come on, let's get over. What's the next scene? But here it was just so smooth. You had the magazine again. Those tools, those small stuff you put in a car, or those small items that you can use to move the story forward. This was good writing, and I feel that this scene is to be taught. You know, it wasn't. Yeah. I think maybe we should have dig the scene out and talked about it, but it's fine.
Oh dang! Now I kind of want to go back and rewatch the whole thing. I'm like,
you remember what happened? She saw the magazine, the Battle of the Century.
Yeah, they were cooking. But I'm thinking about it more. I'm like, wait a minute, they really were kind of cooking with that part of the episode.
Yeah, it was a good scene. It was a good scene. Especially, I'll tell you why. Because for me, I didn't know the whole thing. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I knew he went to jail and all of that, but because he didn't want to go to Vietnam. But like, for example, when they say that the Vietnamese and the Americans were fighting, but suddenly they stopped fighting because they want to listen to the radio to know what's happening. Yeah. It's not like they were watching a TV screen or something. They were literally just listening to the radio, which is
in war.
Yeah, while killing each other. So this is how strong Muhammad Ali was. He was uniting the Vietnamese and the Americans when they were at the peak of their battle. You know.
I mean, a lot of people didn't want to fight that war anyways. It was
definitely
propaganda on high, but that's how the U.S. does things. That's our specialty. It's pretty good. I think episode 3 will be
we'll see. Yeah.
A little hectic. I mean, it's the longest episode.
Oh,
it's an hour and 29 or something like
that. Okay. I think I'm gonna watch it right after we finish. So
I'm watching tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's review it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll check with Nada whether she wants to jump in.
Yeah, true.
We'll see. We'll figure it out. It's fine. It's chill. But any final comments before we?
Yeah, not as much action. Not as much action this episode. Not as much like stylized.
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely.
I do like the
Karate one. She was fighting the Chinese guys.
The mob, the gangster dudes. It's cool, man. It's good. It's regular. She's doing a pretty good job. But it's no one's blown away. Like nothing was really stylish. Nothing was really crazy. Like nothing super intense. Like it's just it's good.
I mean, what I like about the John Wick series is that I think this is something we'll discuss more in Ballerina. They know how to work with their budget.
Yes.
And this is a big problem, not just in American movies, in America as a whole. There's a lot of wasted money all the time.
By design.
For whatever reason. We're not going to go into it.
By design. It's by design.
But
It's
you'll
intentional.
notice that when you look at the budgets and of the movies and the series and
Bloated.
the what they do with that budget, it's amazing. That's like whoever's in charge of the budget is like needs a raise. Because bro, if you
Yeah.
look at John Wick 4, it was $100 million for this 3 hour movie that was over 4 countries. Amazing.
$100 million.
And I feel that because they know how much to pay their actors. Because look, the problem is the actors take a lot of the chunk of the budget, which is a big problem in movies. Like for example, in Wolf of Wall Street, which was a $100 million movie, Leonardo DiCaprio got paid like $10 million. So imagine 10% of the budget is just on one actor.
Yes.
I know. Keanu Reeves is very like chill with money. He doesn't care that much. He always takes cuts, and they're good at hiring the necessary people that do the job. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You just need the people, and
Who love it?
because look, for example, let me take my case. For example, I'm willing to take part of a John Wick movie if I get the credit and work near free, right?
Yes.
And there's a lot of people like that. They're talented and they're just passionate about the job. Because here's the thing. Let me tell you something. I know I'm unemployed. I can't be talking that much about it. But here's the thing. I see this whole thing on LinkedIn like, oh, you shouldn't be looking for exposure. You shouldn't be looking for credit. You should be looking to get paid for because you need bills to pay. That's what your second job is for. You want to be an artist. Look, you want to be an artist. You have to work for free at some point.
Yeah,
Look,
that's true.
look,
Unfortunately, very true.
if you keep thinking about the bills, you're not gonna make it. It's the second job that will pay the bills, not your main job.
Very true, unfortunately.
Because here's the thing, like, because you think about it. Let's say you get,
And it's been true. It's been true for years and decades, honestly.
because if you think about it, I think only like 1% or 2% of actors they make the minimum requirement to get the health insurance, which is around 30 grand a year. Like
Yes.
that's how bad it is for actors. So
That's how few.
Because
who get
and when you keep asking for more, you're gonna get less jobs. You're ruining your exposure. So imagine someone who So a lot of people they say no to jobs that could have helped them a lot or give them good networking or make them meet a lot of good people because they want to get paid more. That's what your day job is. That's what your skill that you should learn for your second job. And for me, it's luckily I have an engineering degree, so I'm fine. But all these people who studied acting or whatever, they just keep thinking like acting is gonna make me the money. No, it's your second job that will make you the money.
Yeah.
So that
I
it
don't
makes
know
your
why
acting job easier. Once your acting becomes very experienced and well placed, you can use the brands and all the exposure you got because exposure is more important. So I think definitely that with the John Wick casting and the hiring, they look at people who think like me that I care more about the exposure and the credit than me getting paid, and it is what
Yeah,
it is.
there's a certain camaraderie that comes comes with being dedicated to the mission like that. And yeah, you're absolutely right. If you want to be an artist in America, it's not your job. It's your hobby. You better get a job. If
Exactly.
you want to eat food and have a house.
I mean, look at us, right?
You
Like
do
we're
have a
we're
car.
not making any money from all of this, right? So
Yeah.
we're
it's
just
not-
doing it because we're
Love of the
hoping
game.
love of the game and hoping one day it will take us somewhere, right? But there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
We're just doing it, and we'll see where it takes us. So
I'm writing a book solely in the hopes to finish writing the book. I
relatable.
wholly expect to make $0 off of this book.
No, you do know I have a book
$0.
published, right?
It's going to cost me money to make this book.
No, my published book, I put it for free on Amazon.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
I put it
I'm
like
gonna put it for free.
the PDF is 99 cents because I can't put it $0. If I can put it $0, I would put it. It's 99 cents.
Oh, you have to charge?
99 cents. That's fine if it's PDF.
That's fine. Yeah, that's
And
fine.
for the hard copy, it's just the price of the book itself, the
Shipping,
the
yeah.
printing, which is
Exactly.
$3. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, so
I'm gonna
Do
finish
it.
writing.
Do that.
I'm going,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to I'm gonna read it and give it to Audible. I'm gonna be like, here's my book, Audible for free. Just put it on there. Just put here's me reading it, and I've already done all the work. Just put it on your thing. It's a book for free.
yeah,
I wonder if they let me. It's free.
it is free.
Give it to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here.
What is it about? Is it a fiction book or a research book?
Well, it's actually both. It's Lovecraftian horror.
Okay.
It's about Well, it's about a lot of things. This is how you know I'm writing a book because you've asked me what it's about. Like, how do I define it? Um, it's bad. A lot of horrible, terrible, scary, horrible things happen. Um, I like Lovecraftian horror, the cosmic horror, because you can't define it. It's horror that you can't comprehend, perceive fully, or explain fully, and and so the effort of describing the monster is pointless. That is a vehicle for the actors, for the rest of the cast members, or the rest of the characters in the book. That's their job, is to describe that through their behavior, through their actions, and through their interactions. When you watch The Thing, for instance, you know, talking about the movie from the '80s, The Thing. Every time you see the monster, it looks different. It's going through some kind of shape changing form. But in the book, if you read the book, they can never fully describe what it is because you can't. It's not supposed to be fully described. Its interactions with people is how you describe it at the time. The crab thing that crawled on Buddy, the chest cavity that opened up and ate Buddy's arms, like that's how you have to describe it because it's a different being. Um, so I don't have a monster either. There's no like one monster either. It's not like a monster movie. It's a cosmic horror story about a sociopath, a psychopath, and then and two cult members who are pregnant.
Oh,
With
you have a cult characters. That's good.
well, they're validated in my story. They're not conspiracy theorist cult members. They're cult because they know that this demon monster is real. So you know what I'm saying, they're valid. The psychopath is a psychopath, which is why I'm doing a lot of research because I have to understand how these people think. This is not this is not a person who has empathy. This is not a person who cares what other people think. So much. Well, they don't care in the way like I don't care what you think. They care like, oh, I don't need you to think that about me, or I don't want you to behave differently. You know what I'm saying? I created 3 characters who are in a lot of control of their environments. You know what I'm saying? These 2 cult members are the cult leaders.
How long you've been writing this?
This has been going on for 2 years now.
Okay.
I'm about 6 chapters in. Well, that's not true. I finished the whole thing, but
if you feel stuck, this is the time to use LLMs. You know, ChatGPT. They help.
I never feel stuck. This story falls
Okay.
out of me piece by piece.
Aw,
But also, I
that's
would
cute.
never, ever, ever, ever ask ChatGPT to help me write my story. I would use it to aggregate information. I use it to, like-
Proofreading
yeah,
at
yeah,
least. Yeah.
Yeah. Proofreading, exactly. But I
Yeah.
don't ever, do not ever let chat write things for you. If you're a writer, don't do it. Because one, there's software that's going to get you in trouble because now you've used chat instead of doing your job writing. And 2, you sound like a AI.
Yeah.
It sounds like gray mush.
We can have another discussion about this actually.
Yeah.
Use
I
of
get real
AI
frustrated
for
about
the
it.
arts.
You have, yeah. It's a tool, and you should be using it like a tool,
Yeah.
but it shouldn't be using us. It's not how this works. All right.
Okay. Final
Episode 3
comments.
coming up soon.
Yeah.
You gotta see it. It's gonna be good.
Hope so. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you again in our episode 3/whole season review. Hopefully, Nada will be with us.